Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Reach and Reverie. Today marks 1 month that we have owned this property, and I am really proud of us with how much we've accomplished in this first month of being landowners. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on where we're at the 1 month mark, as well as what we plan to do moving forward. So this is that structure that Josh and Daniel welded up last weekend. You can see they have a nice sturdy RV porch structure here that is pretty much ready to go. We do still need to put the metal on. We ended up not getting to that last weekend. We decided to actually hold off, and you could see he does have some makeshift braces on that, just to prevent any kind of damage with wind. We are planning on installing some braces on the corners just to give it extra fortification and strength against any wind before we put on the metal roof. Once we put the roof on, eventually we are planning on putting the tin also coming down the sides on a couple of the sides, but we think that'll happen down the road. This week we did go ahead and square up a porch that we are planning on doing, or a patio. We did square up and stake out where we would have essentially a covered patio that would come off this direction. That in itself would also help strengthen the structure, having, you know, some posts and extra reinforcements in this area. It comes off about 12 feet, and then it's about 20 feet wide, so that'll just be a covered area where we could put, you know, like a little picnic table, a little sitting area outside of the RV port, as we are going to have an RV in this section. It does fit with all the pop-outs without sticking out on any end, and the door to the RV is going to be right on this side of this column right here. So we'll open the door and then come down our steps, and we would have a little covered patio. We also, over this week, did square and stake off where we're going to build our shop. The shop is going to be a 16 by 24, and then it is going to have a bathroom added on as an addition on the back side. We're still waffling on if we want to do a 8 by 8 or an 8 by 6 bathroom. It will essentially just be a minimalistic bathroom just to get, you know, the job done. It'll have a toilet, a small shower, and a sink in there. That way we can be a little bit more comfortable than having to use the RV bathroom while we're building our house. Then long term, it'll be nice for Josh to have a bathroom out here so he doesn't have to run across the property if he's out here working. So we're going to have the first corner of the shop right here, which will end up building a gate. This is about 6 feet right here, opening between the edge of the RV port and the beginning of the shop. So we'll have a gate that eventually will have a fenced in yard for our dog. She'll have an area right here where she won't have free reign to run on the property. Of course, she'll have access to the property, but in a supervised way. She is a borzoi, and she's been in a few of our prior videos, and she actually broke her wrist, and it was a really traumatic injury, and essentially she is not allowed to run freely, probably for the rest of her life, for risk of re-breaking and re-injury. So she is supervised exercise only, and we thought having a small fenced in like dog yard would be a good safe place for her to be able to be out off leash in this area without being able to just run. Before she broke her leg, she could run close to 40 miles per hour. They are a running breed, very similar to greyhounds. They are in the sighthound family, and we do have a lot of wildlife out here. She has prey drive towards deer and rabbits, so I just thought it would be too risky to just let her have free reign of the 5 acres. So looking at the shop, we have the first corner right here, and then we'll go out to this post right here, and then we'll go out just a little bit. It is going to go 24 feet that way. This is going to be the corner. And essentially this space all in here is going to be the shop. We are planning on making the shop our temporary living room while we're building the house. So in this 20 by 40, the RV is about 36 feet long. And so it does have a bathroom and a bedroom and a kitchen. So we will essentially be using that RV as our home base, but it will be good to have the shop to stretch out in. We'll probably make that our living room with the couch and the TV, and that will be where Evie and my cat Russell will be staying while we're building our house. Because the RV will be a little bit tight for a dog that stands almost 3 feet at the shoulder. So back here we did also go ahead and stake off an 8x8 for the bathroom, and then off to the side we're planning on putting the water heater and the electric panel. Today Josh is actually planning on digging a trench. The electric panel will also have electric wire run this way so that we could have the electric accessible to this area of the property. So that is the shop. We have all ready to go, stepped off right in this area right here. Today my job is going to be plucking cactus and vegetation that is going to be in the way of areas where we are planning to build. Right now Josh did go ahead and mark off where he's going to be digging a trench this morning with his tractor, and this trench is going to be for our electric line. We did have the electric company come out this week and they did install our transformer. They ended up not replacing the pole, but they did, as a casualty, knock down this cholla right here, which honestly was going to have to come out anyway, as this is going to be where we're planning on off of the shop. You could see we have the 24 feet here, bathroom extension. So the 24 feet here, we were going to put a slab that's going to come out about 20 feet as a working area for Josh. Eventually it's probably going to be covered with like a carport. So eventually this cholla was going to be coming out. We were going to wait until after the birds had fledged, but of course we did see in the last video that a raccoon came and snagged the baby birds. So unfortunately the birds were gone. At the end of the day it kind of worked out, and you know, as sad as it is, that at least there weren't baby birds in the nest when it got knocked over by the electric company, and the raccoon got something out of it. What's the rain forecast today for Hole Poppin'? I'm showing 24% chance of rain starting at 4. One thing we've learned out here is if you have a low percent chance of rain, it's going to pour. And if you have a high percent chance of rain, it's probably going to miss us completely altogether. Last week we had a 98% chance of rain and it went right around the town. So he's asking on rain percentages to see what kind of holes he should dig today. We did get a downpour yesterday and it rained for a couple of hours, which is something we desperately need out here. So you can see we've got some muddy messes, but it mostly just packed down the dirt to where it's not quite so dusty. It soaked right in, and it's really not as messy walking through here as you would think. I don't even have any mud sticking to my shoes. So Josh is digging the trench for the electric. The other thing that is going to happen this week is we are getting septic put in. We did actually hire out the septic install. Josh used to be certified to install septic, but his certification did run out, so he's not currently certified for septic. So he kind of knows the process, but we want to go and do this the right way. So we are supporting local business and hiring out to get the septic installed. It is the 14th of July. We are planning to have the RV on site before the end of the month. So if it's not next weekend, it'll be the following weekend that we have the RV here. We do already have electric installed, but we are still waiting for the electric provider to come out and install our meter. So at this time, even though we're set up for electric, it's not functional. But here in the coming weeks, we are going to have a lot of moving pieces coming together at the same time, and we will soon have just about all of our utilities here on the property. The remaining thing that we're waiting on, we actually tried to pick up this weekend, are our water tanks. We're going to start with water on the property as rainwater catchment. Eventually, we'll probably invest in a well. We already have a quote to build a well, but it's just a little bit out of our budget right now. So our plan is to use the two 3,000 gallon water tanks as kind of our initial water storage. And we also have a couple of trailers that have water containers that we could haul water with. So starting out with as little rain as we get out here, we are going to have a gutter system on the RV port to collect water, but until we really get enough to function, we are planning on hauling water. So starting out with water hauling, we went to Terlingua yesterday and actually got a flat tire on his trailer about halfway down, and we had to turn around and come back and didn't complete our mission. So sometime this week, Josh will probably go back down. He had to get a couple new tires as he didn't feel comfortable continuing that trip with a single spare. And we're actually glad it all kind of worked out, because that massive storm we got yesterday afternoon probably would have been a little bit more dangerous to drive on the road. Between here and there is nothing. There's no cell service for about 60 miles. And you are literally like driving off grid. So if there's an emergency, there's really no way to contact help, and it's just not a good situation to go into unprepared. So once we popped one tire, we just turned around and came back yesterday. So we will have water soon is the moral of that tangent. But today, you know, working on getting electric over to where we can have access to it at the RV. He did already fill in the trench from the pole to the electric panel. So that is done. And then let me show you where our septic's gonna go. We are having the septic started today. So they're gonna be digging the hole where the septic tank is gonna go into. And that will be completed and installed and finished hopefully by tomorrow if all goes well. Look at him go, he's already working on that trench. Here's one of our little water tanks. I actually plan on putting this on the back of our ATV, and our ATV has a little dump trailer, and I plan on hooking this water tank, which is like a 55-gallon tank. It'll sit in the back of the ATV, and I can pull it to the garden, and we'll hook a hose up to it and essentially gravity feed water for our irrigation on the property. Eventually that'll probably be kind of what I do to irrigate the garden, but we'll also use it to drive around the property and irrigate trees. So that'll be kind of a fun little chore. And so we have our house right in here, so of course if I'm ever bored, I can start plucking cactus in this area and clearing out vegetation, as this will be where we eventually will have our house. Now, coming off of the house, we originally had planned to have our septic out front, but when we had our consultation with our septic guy, He actually recommended for us to put it behind the house as it would have less risk of being driven on, less traffic, and it would also be a straight shot to both the house and the RV port. See, originally we were planning on having the septic come right in line here, straight to the house, and by extension from the RV port to our septic tank. But our property does have a slight slope in this direction, so we just figured that having it at the back of the house would be the most ideal situation for septic waste to make it from the house to the septic tank and from the RV port to the septic tank. We're definitely going to leave our beautiful big mesquite tree in, that's back there. We do have an X marked off where our septic tank is going to go. So that'll be right here. This is our septic tank, you guys. So he's gonna come in, our septic friend, and he will dig the hole and get that placed and set and ready to go, hopefully by tomorrow. And then of course Josh will come back afterwards and dig a trench from here to the shop and RV area. That way we can go ahead and run the plumbing to the septic tank. Lots of excitement, lots of moving parts. We're getting ready to go with this, getting all of our utilities put in. It's all coming together, and we are so proud and excited and thankful for everything we could have accomplished in this first month as property owners. Thank you guys for joining us on this journey as we turn this raw land into our future homestead and making our dreams come true one week at a time. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. It helps support our channel. And if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening here at Reach and Reverie, don't forget to subscribe. That way you can be notified and stay up to date with everything that's going on here on our future homestead. So he's gonna fill it in a foot, and then we're gonna run red danger tape, and then we'll finish filling in the rest. We have our backfill dirt all up here. We're trying to beat the storm. It is thundering and lightning and storming right over there. That's about probably 2-3 miles away. Well, it's a little bit more than a foot, but I think we could spread it out.
doing here? What are we doing?
All right, guys. Y'all thought we were done with the video, and so did I. I already had my closing recorded. We were ready to see you guys next week, and then I had a little update I just wanted to add. So when we wrapped up this video, it was earlier today, and that was right before we got hit with a pretty heavy downpour. So we went ahead and called it, thought, you know, this is what we're gonna get done today, and we will come back and show you guys more updates next week. Well, also today, our septic guy, Ronnie, ended up coming out to the property, and he got prepped because tomorrow our septic tank is going into the ground. And since I'm gonna miss that, I'm gonna actually be at work tomorrow during that time that Ronnie comes out here, I wanted to come out to the property and take a look at the progress he got done today, just so that we could show you guys what our septic tank looks like and how that setup is prepped. And Miss Evie was really excited and wanted to come along, so thought I'd get her out of the house this evening so we could take a look. And already I could see our septic tank over there loaded on the trailer. I also see that Josh started on getting our circle drive started, and I think he did that so that Ronnie could come in with his trailer and kind of do a better 3-point turn and have enough space to do so. Somebody's really excited. There it is. Wow. That's our septic tank. We also, in the back, it looks like that's the tank, and we also have these panels that they put out to help diffuse the water in the leach field, so that's kind of cool. It looks like those are the panels back there. Wow, that tank is huge. And this is Ronnie's tractor that he brought. I love it. He was showing it to us earlier. It's got air conditioning and heat, and the windows roll up and down, and it's really nice. And this is the hole that he dug today. I was asking them if we should just forego building a septic tank and just install a swimming pool while we're at it, because that looks like it would be more fun use of this hole. But seriously, I guess a septic is a little bit more important than a pool. Yeah. He did dig out this orange PVC, and typically orange means fiber optics, but we did confirm with 811 that there was no fiber on the property. And we talked to the lady that originally her family owned all of this land as a ranch, and this used to be a water line that ran from a tank off in the distance across up to her mother's house, and it has not been a live line in many years, and so this was a water line that is not active. So we were able to pull that out and get this all going, but we are pretty excited. And it's cool, Josh was admiring this tractor too, and it has a 3-foot wide bucket, which is a little bit bigger than Josh's tractor over there, and he was able to clear this section out in minutes to get kind of a ready to go path over here and everything. And it helped us out because this is where the house is going to go, so he cleared out some of that area that we're going to be needing to clear out anyway for the house. So we just wanted to show you guys that, since we are going to miss that getting put in tomorrow when he comes back out. It's pretty cool. Earlier I did also add on a little bit of showing us fill in that trench for the electric, where we had the electric panel here and it going out to over there, and at this pole that's sticking up out of the ground. Let's go take a look. That is going to be where we put another electric box for the electricity for the shop. So this is ready to go for us to put electric through. We haven't run electric wire or cable through this yet, but it is set up and ready to go. Up top, we didn't have any tape, but we really didn't want water getting into this conduit since it had that heavy downpour earlier. So I literally just got like 3 grocery bags and put it on and tied it with some marking non-sticky tape, flagging tape. So that was kind of my redneck engineering to prevent water from going into the pipe. So that's it. That's the latest update for today and how our weekend ended up. We will have septic installed tomorrow, and then it'll be up to us after that to get the plumbing to the RV site from the septic. So we will be digging another trench. That will be another update in a coming video. We did dig the electric down 4 feet, which is well past the minimum requirement that we need to dig it deep for, and that is so that we can come back with the septic line, dig a trench without being in danger of hitting our electric. So that is pretty exciting. Things are moving forward, and Evie's already bored. She thought we were going to come out here and play and explore and chase rabbits and deer, but no. We're just going to walk around leisurely and talk to the stick that I'm holding. Are you bored already? Are you ready? Did you want to go? We can walk around a little bit more, huh? Let's go for a little walk. Let's go see if we can see any rabbits. Let's go. Pick up Cease. See, she's like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, well, we are gonna go for a short stroll, probably down the driveway and back. All right, well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Until next time. This way. Evie, this way. All right, get in.